Welcome back, gamers, to Top 10 Gaming. I'm your host, Johnny Rogers, and if you happen to be new here, we put out daily content on all things gaming related, so if you're down with that, then tap the subscribe button to see more from us. Plus, leave us a comment down below with how you calm yourself down so that you don't rage quit every time you can't beat a mission. While you ponder that, let's jump into today's list of the top 10 video game moments that make gamers break their consoles. At number 10, COD 1v1. Playing a split screen game with someone is like playing with fire. You know you shouldn't do it, but man is it fun. Whether it's playing against someone online or with a friend, this kind of game mode can become quite lethal depending on how skilled the other person is. What we would never recommend doing though is playing with your significant other, because if there's already any issues in the relationship kind of bubbling near the surface, we highly doubt a game of 1v1 on Rust is going to solve your problems. It's probably just going to end up something like this.
You know what this is? You know what this is? You! I swear to you!
Damn it, Todd. In at number 9, the Blue Shell. Mario Kart is a game designed for casual video gamers, people who are largely not trying to play on a competitive level but still enjoy gaming. It's certainly a fun game for parties as everyone chooses their favorite Nintendo character and race each other to the finish. There are various weapons that you can pick up while racing, but perhaps the one that angers people the most is the Blue Shell. The Blue Shell exists for the sole purpose of sneaking up on the player in first place and stunting their lead, giving those in dead last a moment to close the gap. It's a fair element of the game that certainly helps level the playing field, and if you're lucky enough to launch it while the second place racer is close to first, you can get two birds with one shell. For the most part, this isn't that frustrating, but if you're part of the 5% that play Mario Kart competitively, then this shell could feel like your world is shattering before your very eyes.
I can't believe that just happened. I'm in f***ing first place for the entire goddamn race, and then I get hit by a shell on the f***ing boost of the jump.
In at number 8, the Driver tutorial. Driver was an action driving video game where you play as an NYPD officer and former racing driver sent undercover to discover the intentions of a local crime syndicate. Just like most games, there's an opening tutorial that they put you through to understand every maneuver the game has to offer. However, for many players, this opening tutorial was what nightmares were made of. For starters, you have 60 seconds to make it through 9 key driving maneuvers, which, even for the most talented of drivers, could be a frustrating time crunch to work with. Even if all these lessons will greatly improve how you play the rest of the game, that didn't stop gamers from rage quitting before the game had even commenced. In at number 7, the library. The first Halo game was absolute gold and still stands as a groundbreaking console first-person shooter, although when it came to the insanely difficult mission in the library, it became a console-breaking game real fast. This mission is now infamous amongst gamers as one of the most frustrating levels in the entire series to date. Not only do you have to fight your way through multiple corridors which look so similar you'll feel like you're going insane, but you're also pitted against an army of the Flood. So good luck with that. Rest in peace to every Xbox 360. In at number 6, The Dam. The 1989 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles side-scroller for the NES was just one long rage-inducing video game. Especially when players reached the level called The Dam, they were screaming much more than just the word damn. It is constantly referred to as one of the most difficult video games the NES has ever released. The level called The Dam could also be attributed to the rising gamers collectively hating any level that took place underwater, like some sort of strange gamer PTSD. They throw you off first with different controls for being underwater, attack you with electric seaweed, and on top of that present you with the challenge of defusing 8 bombs within 2 minutes. I bet if you were to pop in this game on anyone's NES, this would be the last save point for sure. In at number 5, Escorting Natalia. Anytime you have to escort someone for a mission, that's enough to make you want to stop playing altogether, at least for me. Usually the person you're assisting is injured or just completely helpless, but for GoldenEye 007, you're guarding Natalia as she's hacking things, so at least she's able-bodied, but you have to protect her from dying, otherwise the entire mission goes down the drain and it can get extremely frustrating. The real issue stems from her character's lack of self-awareness. As you're attempting to protect her, Natalia will just straight up run in front of bullets, both yours and the oncoming attackers. As great as this game was, we would be hard-pressed to find anyone who didn't break their N64 upon having to play this mission. In at number 4, 4, supply lines. The mission supply lines in Grand Theft Auto 4 is regarded as one of the most painfully frustrating missions in the series to date. Thank goodness it's listed as an optional mission, but for those hustlers out there that long for the 100% completion of the game, it caused plenty of broken consoles. The mission involves CJ piloting Zero's miniature plane with the express purpose of taking out 5 of the enemy's couriers and then taking the plane safely back to Zero's place. The frustration though builds fast because the plane has a terribly low fuel limit, and on top of that, most players run out of weaponry, causing them to lose every single time. This in turn means that you have to be extremely efficient at utilizing every resource to take down your enemies. The worst part is the reward isn't really worth it, and if you've come so far in the game to just end up destroying the very thing you love, then what was the point? And at number 3, Through Fire and Flames. When Guitar Hero dropped, everyone believed that their expert playing skills would transfer over to actually playing guitar, which sadly couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, it was a great PR move to get copies of the game to fly off the shelf, but what it also did was give rage quit gamers a new piece of equipment that they could smash when they lose. The most notoriously difficult song to play on the first Guitar Hero track was Dragon Force's Through Fire and Flames. And for those of you who enjoy self-inflicted punishment, expert mode on this song was right up their alley. Even the most dedicated of players would struggle through the 7-minute song. Hand cramps aside, for many this song felt like a complete slap in the face to any ego that they may have established with completing other songs. In at number 2, The Slippery Climb. Crash Bandicoot was a simple game meant to be for people of all ages, well, mainly kids, which kinda makes you scratch your noggin when getting to the slippery climb level. How sadistic were these developers to create such a difficult area of the game that as a whole was meant for children? The level consists of moving platforms, perfectly timed leaps, and if you didn't time those properly, you almost always just slid off the ledge, forcing you to restart. The stage would push gamers into one of two categories: either they quit altogether or spent hours trying to develop some divine power to make it through. Needless to say, many consoles were harmed in the playing of The Slippery Climb. Last but not least, on our number 1 spot, The Water Temple.
I hate it! Oh my god, now I'm dead! Because of this stupid fucking clam! I was shooting it the whole time!
And here you thought that we would make it through this list without another frustrating water level. Nope. The game Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time was a masterpiece in many ways, but it wouldn't be such a great game if the devs didn't throw us a curveball. That curveball was the Water Temple. Even the name gives me anxiety. The Water Temple, much like the dam in the Ninja Turtles game, also offers up this sluggish underwater controls coupled with repetitive locations and annoying as all hell enemies. The amount of stress and anger this multi-hour level induces is enough for many to just stop playing the game altogether. Even if you make it all the way through, you won't even want to play video games for at least a few days. And that has been the top 10 video game moments that made gamers break their consoles. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, show us some love by tapping that like and subscribe button. Plus, leave us a comment down below with your thoughts on this list. And for any more videos like this one, all you have to do is click that playlist on the screen. From Top 10 Gaming, I'm Johnny Rogers. Until next time, take care.